Can we just have a moment of silence? Yeah, it was that good. So, you guys, Logan is written and directed by James Mangold, and basically the film takes place in 2029 and is the final conclusion to the Wolverine series known as X-Men. And so he's basically sick and he's hurting and he can't heal as fast as he could before in some of the past films that we have seen him in. And so not only that, but he has to deal with his condition. But not only his condition, but the condition of Professor X as well. And because Patrick Stewart is old and he's dying as well. And so basically, guys, everybody in this movie is just sick. And with that said, this is a darker film than some of the other movies. Yes, there's action, and there's a whole lot of elements of action, especially with the R rating, but it's not just all about that. It's more dark because it brings in more elements of family and love and things like that, and that really comes along with the girl and her character and how the kid being a mutant and how they are similar and how she is similar to Logan's character really affects him. So throughout the whole movie, they're basically hiding around the Mexican border, and because they're trying to cross it, that's how they escape. That's where they need to escape to for the mutants to be safe and things like that. And the only way that they could be safe is by basically traveling from point A to point B. So I guess you can say that this is a road trip type of movie, but it helps build the relationship between all the characters, even though the relationship is already there. But since we're in a different element and a different environment, it really brings out all the character all the anger in the characters that they have built up over the years between each other. And I think that's why they pushed for the R rating, not just because it's Marvel and that they can, but because it needed to improve the character development. And yes, at times, you guys, the R rating seems kind of pointless, especially in some of the scenes involving Hugh Jackman driving a limo, and scenes like that where it was kind of pointless to have, but just because they could. And as well as some of the scenes where he breaks out and just starts cursing. And yes, that can be funny, but at times it could be kind of tiring and kind of just thrown in there just for a comedic purpose. But overall, that didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. My main point with this, guys, is that the movie brings out all the evil and all the things they have dealt with in the past up until this point, and it kind of brings out why they are doing everything that they are doing at this point in time in the year 2029 for these certain people, for these characters, for the girl, it's mainly for her, the girl who is the mutant and who is basically like Hugh Jackman. She is a younger Hugh Jackman, and that is because you find out in the movie who her character is relating to him, and it's more about family and about building that connection and trusting each other than just killing someone and moving on to the next spot. Now, I will say this film does follow the comic books pretty precisely. Like, in the trailer, I know it shows that the girl, she reads the comic book, she's a fan of X-Men, and they make jokes about that during the trailer, but the comic book is actually very helpful for the involvement of the storyline and how they progress from one spot to another. And they actually use the comic book, which I thought was very cool, instead of just knowing that it's a comic book film, but they actually used their own world that was created for them that is already kind of created, and they use that to help them. And I know that sounds really weird, but that's because that's what happens in this film, and I thought that was really cool. And I have to say, as someone who hasn't read the comics, it really helped move this story along for me and really grasp my knowledge on what was going on, even though I didn't read the comics prior to this film. And I haven't done that with any Marvel film, guys. I'm not huge with the comics. I should be, but I've seen every Marvel film up to this point, and I do have to say, Logan is definitely up there with how realistic something can be. Meaning that the comic book that was brought to life for this film was brought to life in a more realistic way for us, the viewers, because we know it's already there, but for the characters, they don't know it's already there. But at the same time, sorry guys, I'm trying to speak, but my throat's just messing up right now. So they know it's there, Sorry guys, I'm getting really confusing with this. So the characters know in the movie that the world is there, but they think it's all made up. However, when they start reading and start finding out about this place called Eden, they start to realize that the comic book helps them grasp their reality and whether or not everything they have known about their lives is true. Now, you guys, I will say Logan is a good standalone movie just by itself. If it wasn't part of a series, you couldn't really tell the difference. But guys, this is a phenomenal movie. I think it's a great tribute to Hugh Jackman's last time as Wolverine, and it was just like they didn't even have a Stan Lee cameo, and I thought that was really, really cool. Because in every Marvel film, there's always a Stan Lee cameo, and I'm not really spoiling that for you guys. I just want you to know that that's a part of it, because there's a lot of things that this film does differently than the rest of the Marvel films, and I think they do that because they realize how important this film is to the Marvel Universe and to Hugh Jackman's character as Logan. And so for that, you guys, I'm going to rate this film now. For me personally, I am going to give it an excellency. I don't know if Ryan saw it yet. I will have to get his opinions on that. But for me, you guys, this is a almost perfect movie. There's a few nitpicky things, like how the R rating could have been PG-13 because there were some pointless scenes, but then the violence totally made up for it. The violence is gruesome in this movie, but it is totally worth watching if you're a fan of X-Men or just Wolverine in general. I think this is a film that fans deserved and will love for years to come. I think it is a gemstone for filmmaking, and just it was really well done, guys, especially with one of the greatest endings, I think, of all time that I will not spoil because I want you guys to be as surprised and satisfied as I was. So thank you guys for watching. If you can't tell, I'm in a different area right now. I'm in Denver. I saw it with a couple of friends, and it was really cool to see. I'm glad I saw it. I will be back in my regular working environment on Monday, which is just my room, my working environment. Don't have an office. But that's my review, you guys, for Logan. I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to talk about it briefly, not give anything away, because I know there's so many reviews and spoiler reviews out there already. I just wanted to give my thoughts about it without giving away too much. And so thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick. This is the Tempest Productions, and I will see you guys in the next video.